Hello, and welcome back for another episode of Sandakan music, Monolock music, and Sharon Graziani. And this week, something special, something new. We have the Prophet Rev2 in the studio. I want to thank my friend Woody that was giving me this beautiful piece to try out and to work it out. Also for you, also for me, it's an astonishing piece of gear, built like a rock and feel amazing. Like everything is, the quality build is something that I didn't see for a long time. Really nice, really full of features, polyphonic, 8 voices, a dedicated low pass filter that basically it's the only filter that we have here, with 4 pole and 2 poles. Really versatile with its own dedicated envelope, amplifier envelope, auxiliary envelope, LFOs, and some cool sounds. Of course, it's all analog. Small disclaimer, I don't have any kind of experience with this synth, so basically I discovered it with you. We wouldn't do the normal go through everything stuff. Like I want to concentrate in the more creative part of things, and to see first of all how is the feel work with the synthesizer instead of a VSTI, because as you know, most of my tutorials and most my approach, also because I like to work fast, is in the box. It's easy to recall, it's easy to do, so this is my approach usually. But when you come to something like this, that it's very much different workflow, because everything behaves differently from a VST, everything works in a different way and behave in a different way, and yeah, it's kind of experimental stuff. So let's see what we have. We have also an arranger, this one, a lack of pin. So in this arranger, basically I can do everything that I can do. And basically I want to see what we can do with it and how we can work it out. Let's start to see this beautiful piece of gear. So of course we have the master volume. We have a few types of modulation, amount of modulation, assigned destination. You have also a really small screen that you can see what you're doing. So you can decide for the mode wheel, for example, how much cutoff. Let's do more. Let's do less. So you can understand unison mode, how many stacks of things you have. Like basically it's like a normal every typology of synthesizer, only that the sound that you succeed to get out of this beast is crazy. Like again, in the end of the day, you cannot compare analog gear to what comes from the box. What comes from the box, it's versatile, but sound-wise, it's different, because this put out electric signal, and the computer is taking zeros and ones. So let's go to the next section. Over here we have the LFO frequency oscillators, and we have 4 pieces of them that you can choose what is the destination. So let's do that. Okay, let's see. I put the LFO4 to be on all oscillators or frequencies. Really fast LFO. You can also sync it to clock. Okay, so we are back to business. After this is another thing that usually I have an issue with. Like I'm being honest with you. I love gear. Gear is beautiful. Gear is full of good things, but it's a lot of doing. Like if you are a person that like to go into business and make it and do it fast, and these synthesizers, outboards, not necessarily it's for you. So something to think about. But if you are in the creative side, and it's not against one another, but if you're on the creative side, this is a machine that you can spend hours with, and to create patches and to create interesting sounds, and it's a different feel. The fact that actually you feel the knobs, and the knobs are sensitive. It's not like touching a mouse, it's not touching this MIDI interface. It's actually doing what you're doing. So you understand that, like we did before, we put the LFO4 on all destination was all frequency oscillator mix. This is also interesting. Let's see what else destination noise on the cutoff. Okay, so let's continue. We have the low frequency oscillator with many destinations and shapes. You can do a triangle, sawtooth, reverse sawtooth, square, random. So basically you can do with this a lot of manipulation and oscillations, and yeah, actually to have 4 dedicated LFOs, it's fun because you can do a lot with it. The random one can create afterward. We will try to make something. Again, I don't know exactly how it works, but because it's working like most synths, so I guess we will have some kind of understanding how it does. Then we have the oscillators. The oscillators here are basically we have 2. We have sawtooth, sawtooth plus triangle, triangle and pulse. And the same thing on the second one, as I told you before, it's 8 voices polyphony with 2 oscillators. Everything is analog on this machine. Most probably the sending of information and the calibration, all this stuff, it's digital, because we have also the screen that show us all the parameters, which means that you can also have the VST to use it on the computer. And it's, for me, it's important. This is why I like the Virus TI. What we have else? We have oscillator frequency. So basically here it's beautiful. It shows you also the key itself, not only semitones or tones. So in the indication is really nice. Then we have the fine tuning, that this comes in semitones, and we will check it also later. We have shape mode, that most probably it's some kind of shifting the shape. We will check it later. Sub oscillator, that if I'm not mistaken, it's 1 octave below. 1 octave below. So I think that you can modulate everything, a sync button, that you can sync between the two to create a little bit more punchy and accurate sounds if you stack them up. Oscillator mix between let's see. So it's, by the way, it seems like that the shape mode is kind of modulation sweep. Let's put this on it and let's see what it's doing. Let's see if it give us an indication. Really smooth, everything is working really smooth. You have to touch it to understand what I mean. The build quality is amazing. We have a noise that it's still and beside this is more or less the oscillator area. We have an arpeggiator. Let's try another patch. So arpeggiator, let's try it. See what it's doing. No arpeggiator. Again, as I say, I discover it with you. So no arpeggiator for some reason. Okay, we get to it. We have most probably no, still not. So we have the clock area that you can choose the BPM. It's changed here. You can see you have indication on the small screen what is what, and then divide. It's basically the clock, how it behaves, 16, swing, triplets, and so on and so forth, like almost in every disc. every synth, arpeggiator that I need to figure out how it works, but basically you have a button on and off, and then you can choose what is the mode. Basically it's between up, down, up plus down, random, and assign. So this is the options that we have for the arpeggiator. Let's try again. Nothing. And then we have the sequencer. The sequencer, it's kind of fun. You can choose between gated to poly, and you can record. Let's see what gated is doing. So this is what gated is doing. And poly is basically that's cool. Basically, if you put if you record now something, so basically pressing record another time, it will take up an octave. Anyway, to know these machines, you need to sit and study them. It's like a whole new product, a whole new thing that you need to put yourself into it and learn it. It's the fact that I'm sitting here and playing while we are watching, it wouldn't give us the depth of this synthesizer. And usually online you wouldn't find like this depth because it takes hours and days and months to reach to a point that you know this synthesizers really well and to know how the function works and how to reach to the things that you actually want. So it takes practice, and you need to have this stuff with you. As I told you, I'm exploring with you because it's exciting to have something like this near in the studio and to be able to use it. Let's go next. So we have the low pass filter. Really, really nice. Four-pole and two-pole. The oscillators are really clean. Really growling. I can tell you from experience that it sounds nothing like Moog. It has its own identity and its own feel for sure. It works in a different way. The fact also that it's a polyphony inside, and you can do not in this. So something like. Yeah, man. You can also see the indication of the in the LEDs. I don't know if you can see it through the camera, but here it's moving in the speed. There is like a dimming thing. Really cool. Really cool and exciting. So let's continue. Let's do it with so let's continue. Let's try another program. Really, really, really fat. Let's. Okay. So here in the filter, beside cutoff, resonance, envelope amount. Okay. Also because you can recall, so when you switch a bank or a program, they call it here, like preset. So everything is changing. Of course, the buttons or the knobs are staying. I think the buttons most probably change, but the knobs are staying in the place, and then you recatch from the area that basically this, and then you can. The beautiful thing that you can do also a velocity sensitive cutoff. Key mount, suppose, if I'm not mistaken, to give you a more opened cutoff when you go up. Okay. So as long as you go up the scales, it will be a little bit more open, the cutoff. Audio mode, I don't know what it means. Don't know what is audio mode. You can discover for yourself if you get this. Of course, as we say, 2-pole. Ooh, and 4-pole, that it's more aggressive and sexy. An envelope, of course. So you have your own dedicated, how you call it, envelope for it. Of course, amplitude. Very snappy. Very short. You can pan. Really interesting. Like it works in a different from the stuff that I usually use. So it's cool. You can do a lot of things with it. And it's also like, you know, having this with me now in the studio and being able to check it, it gives me also idea back and forwards into the DAW, into the synthesizer in the box. And like again, working with the mouse on the computer, it's really comfortable and efficient. But it can be also kind of schematic, and I really understand why people are buying external gear and experiment and play with knobs, because it's taking something else out of you. It make you have to experiment. And when it comes to sound design, there is nothing better, most probably, to have some kind of versatile synth like this one or like any other, and just sit down and try and do you know, patches and experiment with envelopes, and because this is in the end what creates your own personality or music personality. This is why Bodzin, for example, is so famous, and of course many others artists. Bodzin is an easy example because he created a genre of his own. So yeah, let's see what more we have. Let's try another pet. Oh, this is cool. So we have auxiliary envelope. That basically, as much as I understand, it's an extra envelope that you can send to any destination that you want. So we have envelope 3, destination, it can be oscillator frequency. Let's do oscillator frequency. And we got a bug. So basically now we mess with the pitch. All the pitches. Mix between oscillator 1 and oscillator 2. Noise. Oscillator 2 shape. This is interesting. Basically, I'm modulating now. I moved the oscillator 2. Basically, the auxiliary envelope is now shaping oscillator 2. Or better said, it's changing the shape of the oscillator. What I actually did, I put it on pulse. Pulse, you know that you can do the pulse with it. So the idea was in my head to try and to envelope, trigger, the pulse suite. So again, you can create this movement in the oscillator, in the sound, because you know sawtooth is a sawtooth, and it is what it is, and you can create movement also inside the oscillators themselves. Then you can also route it to cutoff, to resonance. Again, this is exactly what I'm saying, that to create a sound in an analog synthesizer, external synthesizer, you need time, you need practice. It's not everything that you think you're doing, it actually will work out and it will fit. Let's see what else we have here. Ooh. It's written here full on bass. Okay. Let's see what we can do with it. Let's see what we have. We have also the effect area. Let's see what effects we have. I put a ring modulator. Now reverb. we have already something different now, huh? Let's put it a little bit more volume. Try another plan. Low phaser. Gives it a little bit excitement. For example, really, I would never think in my production before to put a phaser on a bass. But now I just experimented with it because it's something else that I have in front of me, and I discovered that it's not a bad practice. It's nice. Let's see what moves. Again. Really cool. Little bit of chords. Delay. Different kind of delays, mono delays and stuff. Very cool. Again, I wouldn't get to it. This is. I would never get to this sound if I wouldn't use this new thing. So it's both things. Also using a new tool. Sometimes when I'm blocked, it's something that when I can, I do. When I'm blocked and I cannot really find my way to be creative or finding inspiration in the studio, there is few ways to deal with this, but one of them it's gear. Gear can be €2,000 synthesizer to whom can afford it, or a new VST, or a new effect, or a new library, or everything also can be outside of this genre to listen to music or to do other stuff, but many times a new instrument or a new approach to stuff start with a new gadget that make you excited and you want to experiment, you want to try, and it brings you to the next thing. So let's hear some sounds from the Prophet without messing them up and see how it is. So it is gentle. It can be really trancey sounding. So it's also making this effect. Really, I never thought that it would be so trancey, this synth. I thought it would be something totally different, but it's cool. It's a really modern approach of sound into something. I can see a lot of people that make psytrance or some kind of psychedelic styles, even if it's chill out or dub or whatever. It can be really cool for them. Oh, this is a really this is a old psytrance lead. Really trancey, really. I'm really surprised. What? I'm into it. Okay, so we have distortion. I didn't see it before. Really cool. also the sound of it, I don't know how to express it. It's like a little bit more round, maybe, if I can call it like this. It feels different. It have a vibe. Like again, it's not that that you cannot reach as close to this, and most probably your audience wouldn't pay attention that oh, you did it with Profit, or you did it with other something. But definitely it have a vibe that it's different from the VSTIs that I use. When you start to also to get used to it, I'm slowly getting used to it, and I put this program or this preset, and I immediately saw that what triggered this whip, okay, it's the LFO2. So I knew immediately, because of the indication of the LED over here, that if I will go to it, I will be immediately able to use it. Also, every sound, it's like bringing you its own character, and because of the character you will do certain things with it. Again, let's see. Let's see what do you have on it. Sorry. Love this, like the FM. It's AM basically, but it's like FM in vibe. again, we are stuck. The beauty of, yeah, so this is also happened from time to time. Let me stop for a second and we'll continue. So as you are understood, this is also happened from time to time, and because of everything, it was just freezing, and when something is freezing, you need to turn everything off and turn everything on again. And that's it. Like basically, for today, it is what it is. I hope that I inspired you, not necessarily to go and run and buy new gear, although it's a good practice if you want to get creative and if you like it. Like gears, it's not for everybody. I was really enjoying it. I think it's a smart machine that can help you to get to a lot of versatile and interesting ideas. And for me, more than it sounds amazing, yes, of course, and it's a crazy tool for the studio. But for me, it's more like an idea machine. Like it's something that put me out of my comfort zone and make me explore in ways that most probably I wouldn't explore, because I have something that I'm kind of used to and I know how to operate, and I will, for the workflow, I will go directly there and I will do the justice. So in certain way, it's something miraculous that you have something like this come to your studio and you can deal with this. And I'm sure that if I will have it for a few weeks, I will already swim in it and I will know exactly what I want to do and how I want to do it and how to reach it and how to change all the buttons, because here most of the stuff are on the board itself. I guess that there is some things that you need to dive in, and the synthesizer that you need to dive in a lot, I don't have patience for. I had few and I sold them. And in the end, I always found myself coming back to the approach of VST and in the DAW. But this is a game changer actually, so you can check it out. You will find it also downstairs in our links as a product that we recommend. On the Thomann or on the Amazon, if you are interested to check it and to buy it. Of course, you can buy it through our link, and you will contribute a small amount out of it for us to help us or to have this channel running. And beside this, of course, you can check our social media. That in our social media you have the Beatport, the Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and everything. You can find it as Sharon Graziani, Monolock Music, Sandakan Music, and we are all over the place. You just need to decide which one is your favorite social media and just find us there. And that's it for this week. I hope that you like this. If you like this kind of videos to explore new scenes and what they do and what is their capability, you are more than welcome to write down below in the comment section. Usually in the chat you don't see afterwards your comments, so please comment in the comment section down below. And write me if you want. We can do something like this more often. And hope you have a good weekend and a good week after. And I see you next week. Bye bye.